Hey guys, want to talk to you today about a common failure mode for condenser microphones. I've seen it many times where a microphone capsule will go bad and people will start blaming other pieces of equipment. People will think that their preamps have issues. People will think that their compressor units are having problems. And they'll go and change out cable sets and change tubes in some cases when the real cause of the problem is actually the microphone itself. And when you're examining a microphone, it's, I guess, easier to think that it would be something within the circuit or the preamp for the microphone itself rather than just the capsule. And today I wanted to, one, give an example of what symptoms a bad capsule can exhibit, and two, I wanted to sort of intentionally cause some of these symptoms to show up to help showcase what a bad or failing capsule really sounds like. Because most preamplifier units and most compressor units, in general, their job is very simple. They take a small signal and make it louder. And they try to do so without introducing noise. Now, that's not to say that it's impossible for something to go bad outside of the microphone, but doing a couple of these small tests will really help you to be able to troubleshoot, is this my microphone or do I have a larger problem on my hands? So when you're tracking a bad mic or a mic with a bad capsule, things can happen that are very strange. You will start the take and it'll be quiet and nice, and throughout the duration of recording, there will be this kind of like low frequency grumble or growl that'll sort of start happening. It kind of sounds like what I would imagine underwater sounds like. It's kind of like, and it just kind of goes in and out of frequency. It'll kind of speed up and slow down. It'll sort of like be popping sounds. And in other instances, there will be this inability for the microphone to output. It'll sort of just drop out entirely. And then as the capsule settles or dries, it'll come back and you'll be able to hear the output again. And I just kind of want to show you a couple of these things. So this is like an inexpensive microphone that I keep around the shop for doing videos like this. And what I'm going to do is just issue some steam through the grill onto the capsule, and you guys are going to hear some very weird noises. And it is a pretty inconsistent thing. Like, I'll do it 3 times, and it could drop out entirely. It could not drop out, but it'll start making all kinds of racket. And the microphone's on right now and just sitting on the bench. I'm speaking to you through a lapel that I'm wearing. But let's get started with that. So I'm just going to bring this closer to my mouth so that you guys can hear this microphone in addition to this microphone. And I'm just going to go ahead and do what I said, which was issue just a breath of steam onto the microphone. And I'm not really going to know what's going to happen here. I'm doing this alone, but I'm sure that you'll hear some kind of nonsense. So here we go. And I'm just going to talk into the mic, and assuming that the audio quality has degraded some. It may have cut out, it may be churning and popping as I'm describing. I can go quiet here after this next issue and we'll just see what sounds it's making. Here we go. And then one last time. So for the next couple of minutes, I'm just going to let this dry, and I'm going to reposition the camera, and I'm going to kind of get it over the bench here, and I'll begin the slow disassembly of this capsule here, and then we'll repeat these same tests with a new capsule, and we'll be able to just witness the benefit of a new capsule and the microphone's new or recreating its ability to withstand steam. Because when you're using a microphone, it is not unheard of for there to be some issuance of steam and it to collect onto the diaphragm. A healthy microphone capsule will be able to tolerate that with either practically imperceptible audio change or none at all. Okay, let's get to it. So where we last left off, there was a lot of background noise, and that noise was coming from this guy because of the built-up steam or moisture on the capsule itself, and that was making all kinds of racket. So what we're going to do is just simply disassemble the unit. So I've left the iron on throughout the recording so that we can kind of be up to temp, but do allow for your iron to get up to temp. That's essential. And then from here, we're going to do this process called tinning, where you sort of allow for the tip to sort of be wetted with solder, allowing for a nice even distribution of the heat. I think it's a good idea to do this. Next, we'll clean both surfaces, and we should have this like lustrous kind of silver thing going on. And from here, I'm just going to try to be in and out of here as quickly as possible. One and done. And then I'm going to try to get it so you guys can see it. Try not to burn capacitors. Boy, do they hate that. Wonderful. So, there we are. Just finished up the capsule replacement, and I wanted to just quickly run through the benefits of replacing the capsule on a condenser microphone. So this is the same microphone that was acting up, cutting out, making all kinds of noise, and here it is now, and I'll blow some steam onto it. So at no point in time has my feed cut out. There is no underwater sound that has been triggered by the issuing of steam. And the audio degradation, if it is apparent, is imperceptible, if it's there at all. So next time you hear some weird stuff coming out of your microphone, be it a Neumann, an AKG, a Sony, or something as inexpensive as even this Global Audio, if it has a capsule on it and you're hearing any of that stuff that you heard earlier in the video, there's a really good chance that all you need to do is bring it to some place like Audio Elements here in Atlanta and just have the capsule replaced. It's generally not that expensive, and it will give you a whole new kind of lease on life with your microphones. And this is really nice if you're ever looking to purchase a used microphone. So in closing, don't hesitate to check your mic before a recording take. It's never a bad idea. You want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for happy tracking instead of a sad session. So take care out there and know your gear.